This PCB here that is called Nubix gives you a full IoT control for anything. A lamp, a fan, your stereo speakers, maybe a printer, or anything that you want. With a simple online push of a button from anywhere in the world, you can turn on or off any device that works at 220 volts AC. This project is based on a previous tutorial where I show you how to use the ESP32 and the HTTP library in Arduino IDE. The PCB has its own voltage regulator from 220 volts AC to 12 volts, 5 volts and 3.3 volts DC. It also has a solid-state relay to control 220 volts AC and 2 amps of current. It has some pads for a simple small ESP32, and it also has the main input and output. It's very easy to use, so in this video let me show you how to create an IoT control using this PCB and control any device around your house from anywhere in the world with an internet connection. And by the way, in the future, we might make this PCB also work with Alexa, so stay tuned for that. So guys, let's get started. What's up my friends, welcome back. This is the PCB that I've designed for this project. I've tried to make it as small as I could, so it could fit inside of any basic wall electric box. This project works at 220 volts, so make sure that you stay safe and never touch the exposed wires. And since it works at 220 volts AC and the ESP32 needs 3 volts to 5 volts DC, I'm using this voltage converter module. This is very small and it will give us a very steady 12 volts DC and 1 amp of current, which is more than enough. Then on the other side, I'm using 2 linear regulators to get 5 volts and 3.3 volts. The ESP32 is controlling this SSR, or solid state relay. And that relay is connected to the output, where we can connect our load. I've also placed some pins around in case that you want to connect anything else to the ESP32. So guys, go and download the Gerber files for the PCB from below on electrodes.com. Then you go to PCBWay.com and click the code button. You add the size of the PCB, the amount of boards that you want, and select a color. Since the green one is made faster, I selected the green solder mask. Then you save to cart and on the next page you click the upload button. And now upload the Gerber files that you have just downloaded from below my video. You make the order and receive the PCBs in just a few days. Give them a quick inspection, but as always they look great. So gather all the needed parts and have in mind that this is the schematic for this project, and you could download it from below. We need the 12 volts regulator, the solid state relay, the ESP32S SMD version, some SMD capacitors and resistors, and the input and the output terminals. And this should be the finished PCB, and this is how we connect it to our load. So first I solder the voltage converter module. For that we add 4 male pins. And on top of those pins we add the converter and we solder it. I also add the input and the output terminals. And then I carefully connect a 220 volts AC cable at the input. Be careful and then connect it to the power and check the voltage output of the module. If it is around 12 volts, we can continue. Then I solder the 5 volts and the 3.3 volts regulators on the back of the PCB. And then I do the same and check the voltage output with my multimeter. Now that we have the voltage regulation part, we can add the rest. I solder all the small resistors, capacitors, the diodes and the LEDs. I add in place the SSR. And finally I soldered the ESP32 and the PCB is ready, but we need a code uploaded with an external FTDI programmer connected to the UART pads on the back of the PCB. So please check my previous tutorial about IoT with the ESP32 in order to understand more, because I won't go over those steps again. In that video I show you how to make the website, the database, the internet connection, and so on. So follow the same steps and get a website domain and a hosting service. Create a database and then create a table that is called LED status with 2 columns, one named ID and another one named status. Then create a new row with ID 0 and status 0. Then download from below these 3 PHP files together with the CSS file and 2 images. Open the connection.php file and place your values from your database for the host, the name, the username, and the password. Now save this PHP file, and then you must upload all these 3 files to your website directory together with the CSS and the pictures. And now if we go to your website, you should now have a button like this one that should toggle the LED status value on the database from 0 to 1 and from 1 to 0. And now download the Arduino code. You have to change the Wi-Fi name and the password. Then scroll down and in the http.begin function, change the website from electronoobs to the name of your website. See in the previous video how to install the ESP32 boards. And once you do that, you have to go to Tools, Board, and select the ESP Dev Module board. Now connect wires from an FTDI module like this one to the PCB. RX to TX, TX to RX, DTR to DTR, together with RTS to RTS. And also share ground and 5 volts. Then in the Arduino select the COM and upload the code. And that's it. Now as you can see, each time I toggle the button on my website, the LED on the Nubix board is also turning on and off. But now let's connect it to high voltage. Connect a 220 volts load at the output. Then we add a cable at the input and connect 220 volts AC. And the board should automatically turn on. Now I go to my website and as you can see, we can toggle the light bulb on and off. And we can do this with any other device. And remember that this is not a local connection. This works via the internet, so you could control the Nubix module from anywhere in the world with a simple internet connection. In the near future I will add some new lighting to my workshop and I might use this kind of control to make it work. Quite interesting, right? And now I could add multiple modules and change the web interface with multiple buttons. I give an ID to each one and I could control more than just one Nubix. On my electronoobs.io website, I'm working on such a platform, but it's better that you make it yourself, because my access will be restrained because I can't have too much traffic on my website, otherwise this website will crash. So guys, get all the files from below and create your own IoT Nubix module with my PCB, the Arduino code, and the PHP files. If you know PHP and CSS coding, you could create a better website, or even a mobile app. So good luck with that, it should be interesting. I hope that you like this project and that you have learned something new, and if so, consider giving me a like or comment below. Thanks again and see you later guys. Hey guys, so that was the video for this week, I hope that you like it, and as always, the most important part for me is that you have learned something new. And I would like to thank you to all of you who are supporting me on Patreon, because that for me is huge. And by the way, if you would like to support my projects, you have all my links below for this Patreon page, for my social media, for my shop, and so on. So thanks again and see you later guys.